Hi guys, it's KJM and I am back with the final Merry Thanksgiving weekend review for our Christmas mural. I'm telling you guys right now, I'm giving this a 6 out of 10. It was just kind of okay for me. FYI, my lighting is really bad and I don't know if it's because I'm in my kitchen. I've tried playing with it. It's not working and I still have construction going on outside my home. So doing this in another room, unless it's the bathroom, is like seeming a little impossible. All right, so this movie starts Alex Baxton Peasley and Dan Jeanette. Now, you guys remember Dan Jeanette. He's been in a lot of Hallmark movies. He was in The Royal Nanny. He's usually playing someone with like a British accent. But he also does work for both Hallmark and Great American Family. So he's one of those actors that floats in between and he doesn't have a multi-movie deal with either one. All right, so this movie for me was just okay. There's this big debate about new Hallmark versus old Hallmark, and I honestly can tell you, maybe if I scroll back, I won't look so pale. I honestly could tell you that I think it was Ho Ho Holiday Viewing that I follow on Twitter. She actually pointed out that since Bill Abbott left, Hallmark's only done like a pivot 10% in another direction. But movies like Our Christmas Mural actually reminds me of the fact that Hallmark will recycle some of the same storylines like a million times, especially around Christmas. And like we saw that with like Holiday Road, but then they did some twists and turns in the writings to give us something to look forward to. In Our Christmas Mural, like that isn't really what happened. If you like just a repeated, script with no extra magic, then check this out. I'm giving it a 6 out of 10 because there were obviously worse movies. I did make it to the end. There were obviously worse movies in Merry Thanksgiving weekend. And I don't know who did the programming, but you guys got like Thursday spot on. You guys got both Friday movies. I did enjoy. Because I think I gave them like a 7 and an 8. Saturday, y'all messed up. Sunday, this was like okay. And then y'all knocked it out the park with A Biltmore Christmas. So I guess for me, when this Hallmark is creating movies that could be on a major network like A Biltmore Christmas or on Netflix, I literally am saying to myself, that means this Hallmark can deliver great movies every time, especially around Christmas. Remember, Christmas time, a lot of different studios are telling Christmas stories. So when you're recycling the same script over and over again with different actors and the writing doesn't get better, then it's a little disappointing. So I like Dan. I don't remember seeing Alex before, but it was just okay for me. It was just okay for me. So let's get into the premise. All right, Olivia and her son Parker leave Williamsburg, Virginia. Oh my God, Williamsburg, New York. There is a Williamsburg, Virginia. Yikes. Williamsburg, New York. So like that's Brooklyn, okay? So she's an art curator and she finds out that her grant is not being, the grant for her company is not being renewed next year, so she may not have a job. She takes her son Parker and they head up to New Hampshire, someplace called Wellington, New Hampshire. I didn't have time to look up if it really exists, but they go to Wellington, New Hampshire to meet her parents, Mac and Betty. They just want to spend like Christmas with them, which is cool. I always admire people who could take off like a good 2 weeks around the Christmas time and, still get paid and then spend time with your family. That's nice if you have the type of job that you can do that. I'm generally not able to do that. I probably could this year, but since Christmas is really not my season, I like to save my vacation time for like my birthday and stuff like that. Anywho, they make it up to Wellington, New Hampshire, greeted by her parents, and soon Olivia finds out that there is a Christmas mural contest. I don't know what's the deal with Christmas and contests. I feel like Christmas is a time for us all to come together, so I don't understand that competitive storylines for Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa. Like, I don't get it. It's really a time we should all be working together. And maybe that's what this movie was missing. So Olivia sees it, but since she's had a creator block and she hasn't been able to create anything, she's had a creative block, she just decides she's not going to enter, but she meets Cody, and he is, I think, the lone black man in Wellington, New Hampshire. And he is the director of community service, the director of the community service department. So he tells her she should join this contest. She doesn't. But her mom, Betty, does sign her up for this contest anyway. And you had to show some of your previous work in order to win the contest and do the Christmas mural. So Betty submits Olivia's work, and of course she wins the contest, and then she creates a mural, which, hold on, I have a little piece of it in another photo. Okay, baby, so we're in the mural right now, okay? Which actually turned out to be super beautiful. So while Olivia is working on this Christmas mural for Wellington, New Hampshire, she meets Will. He's an art teacher, and he also is helping her with Parker. Ever since Olivia's husband passed away, Parker has had a lot of like emotional difficulties, and he's had a hard time making friends. So Will suggests art therapy, which I thought was actually one of the brilliant parts of the movie. Like, at one point, Will is allowing Parker to just smash a bunch of plates that he brought, like in the studio, smashing these plates. And I thought if we as adults on really hard days could smash a couple of things, like in a safe space where you can show that you're upset or you're sad, and just smash those plates, that would be wonderful. So I thought the use of art therapy to help children when they're grieving, I thought that aspect of this script was actually brilliant. And I think it's even something that adults could definitely benefit from. So as Will is helping Parker, giving him art therapy, he's also helping Olivia with her Christmas mural. The two get very close together. So close that one night, Mac and Betty, Olivia's parents, invite Will over, and they have a little bonfire in their backyard. Baby, I be loving how the white people just be outside in the snow having bonfires. I have definitely gone to bonfires. They're usually like a fall, like autumn thing. I've never actually done one when there's snow all over the freaking ground. And I don't know if that's just something Hallmark makes up to give us magic, but they got their little blankets on, and I'm just like, oh, okay, folks, this is what we're doing, because y'all look like y'all are freezing your tails off. Anywho, after the grandparents take Parker inside, Will and Olivia get closer, and he actually kisses her, and it's one of the most awkward first kisses I've ever seen in a Hallmark movie. You can tell Olivia did not want to be kissed. Matter of fact, she looked like she was going to slap the mess out of Will, but she didn't. She gets up, she runs off. Turns out she's not ready to deal with her feelings for Will. She doesn't know where she stands on whether she's going back to Williamsburg, New York, or whether she's going to stay in Wellington, North Carolina, and do her art there and build a future. Ultimately, this mural is beautiful. The town is really happy. She gives credit to her family and to Will for this mural coming out so wonderful. Olivia decides that she's going to keep her and Parker in Wellington, North Carolina, and she's going to have a studio there where she will do certain community service projects to get help on her rent. Baby, if somebody told me that I could go do community service or do a project that would allow my rent to be less or give me a discount on my rent, whether it was a rent for a studio or the rent for where I live, baby, I would be out there doing it. Now, I know you're supposed to be out here at Christmas time and doing goodwill because we are decent human beings. But baby, one thing 2023 showed me is inflation is tapping that you know what. And so anytime you can save some money and spread some Christmas cheer, it's a smart idea. All right, that's the gist of our Christmas mural. I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. Like I said, it's borderline. If you just like Dan Janot, or if you've seen Alex before and you want to check this movie out, it's borderline. I wouldn't watch it again. I don't know if Megan's watched it, but definitely, check this out. That's all I gotta say. All right, you guys, until the next review, I can't believe I've done all the reviews for Merry Thanksgiving weekend, and it's a wrap.